Please subscribe the channel and don't forget to click the bell icon.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome to Botanica. So in the previous lectures we have discussed about the structure of the phloem, what is the composition of the phloem exudates, what are the different types of compounds and the molecules which are present in the sap. We have discussed about the history, what were the different experiments which were carried out to sort out that how the bulk flow, how the food is transferred, and what type of tissues are responsible for the transfer and the translocation of food from the leaves to other parts of the plants. And after that we have discussed about the why there is a sucrose which is transported and not the glucose or any other sugar. So that is the reason that there is a change, or there is a carboxylate group which are present, free carboxylate group which are present in the glucose, and other compounds which make them not suitable for the transporting material. So now we are heading towards our main topic in this discussion is the phloem loading and unloading concept provided by the Ernest Munch, the Munch flow hypothesis, which is called, or the pressure flow hypothesis, which is also called the bulk flow hypothesis. But before discussing that hypothesis, we are going to discuss about the source and the sink concept. So what is the source, what will be the sink, what type of which of the organs are sources at different times and they become sink at one time. So there is a concept that what are the different organs and at which time they are behaving as a source, and how they become sink at other time. So as far as the sap in the phloem is concerned, as far as the sap term is concerned, sap is used for the whole food solution, the solution which contains the sucrose and all the other compounds which we have discussed. So that is the sap, as it is present in the solution like material, so that's why it is called as sap. So sap in the solution or sap in the phloem is not translocated exclusively in either an upward or downward direction, and translocation in the phloem is not defined with respect to gravity. So it is not the case that whenever the food will be synthesized in the upper parts of the plant by the action of the gravity, it will be transferred to lower parts of the plant. So if there is a need of food in the upper part of the plant, so that food can also be transported there, and these concepts are related to source and sink model. So remember, there is a effect of gravity on every work which is performed in the plants and which is performed at the surface of the soil, but it is not exclusively, it cannot be attributed to the gravity that source and food from the source to sink travels because the action of the gravity. So it is not the case, although there is a role of gravity in the movement of photoassimilates, but there is not gravity is not the sole factor which is responsible for the movement of the food. Rather, the sap which is formed, or the food which is formed, it is translocated from areas of supply, what we call the sources, and to the areas of the metabolism or the storage, which are called sinks. So there is a sources and there is also sinks. So this sap is translocated, or it is transferred from the sources to sinks. So identification of an organ, as far as the different types of organs are concerned in the plants, for example, we have three major organ systems. We can say that the root system, shoot system, and we can say that the root, shoot, and leaves are the three major organs which are present in almost every plant. So how these organs are, which one of the organs are the sources and which one of the organs are the sinks, and along with these there are other certain organs which are formed, which are modified form, like for example we have underground stem as well. We have roots which are used for the storage of the food, like the taproot in the carrot, and so these are the different modified forms of the organs. So identification of an organ, so which type of an organ is as a source or sink, that it is behaving as a source or sink. So it depends upon the direction of its net assimilate transport toward where is the what is the direction of the movement of the sap. If that sap is traveling towards the cell, so it means that this cell or this tissue is sink because the food is traveling towards that cell. If food is coming from one cell or coming from one type of tissue, so it means that this particular cell or the tissue has a more or it is synthesizing more food than its needs, so that's why it has to transfer the excess of food which it has synthesized because by the process of photosynthesis. So now that particular cell or the tissue will become the source. So an organ or tissue that produces more assimilate. What does the term more mean? So it means the excess food of that food which is excess or which is abundant or which is formed more than its requirement or more than its cell needs. For example, if there is a mesophyll cell, so in the mesophyll cell there are the chloroplasts, there are abundant in the organelles which we call the chloroplast and grana and stromathylakoid, which are the grana membrane that are responsible for the photosynthesis. So these cells or these tissues are making more food than their requirement. So as they are the source or they are the major sites of photosynthesis, so bulk of the food is synthesized here. So that's why when they come into action, when they work, when they farm, when they carry out the photosynthesis, so what they do, they make food which is abundant in quantity, which is more than their mesophyll tissue. So that's why these cells has to translocate and has to transfer this excess food to other parts of the plant. So it requires for its own metabolism and growth is a source. So anyone or any of the cell, it is not the case only with the leaves or only with the plastids or only with the mesophyll tissue. Any of the cell which is present in the plant and it is synthesizing, or it is not the case that it has to synthesize from de novo. What the term de novo means, that it has to synthesize by the process of photosynthesis. No, it is not the case. Sometimes it also occurs, it also happens that the food is stored in the, for example, in the taproot or in the underground stem, and whenever there is a need, that food or the, for example, the starch, it is broken down and the glucose is transported to other parts of the plant. So as the food which is present in the cell, it is in excess quantity, it is excess from the, or it is abundant, or it is excess, it is more from the needs of needs of the cell. So that's why it will become a source. So as far as the source organ is concerned, it is not the case that it should be synthesizing food from by the process of photosynthesis. If the food is stored before when the photosynthesis was occurring at a higher rate, and now the food is stored in the starch form and it is stored somewhere in the root or in the stem, and now it is used when it is needed. So that particular cell, root cell, will also become the source. So as far as the definition of the source is concerned, those all cells which are synthesizing or which are making food more than their requirement, so that's these are cells are the sources, because they have abundant food, they have excess food which has to be transferred, which has to be translocated to other parts of the plant. So a source, thus a net exporter or producer of photoassimilates. So as far as the source is concerned, source is the cell or the tissue which is the exporter, which is the producer of the photoassimilate, because the photoassimilates are more than their needs. So any organ at one time or another in its development will function as a sink and may undergo a conversion from sink to source. So similar is the case here with the human. So what happens when the new baby borns? So till 3 to 4 or 5 years we have the mom and the dad has to feed that baby, because it is unable to make, or it is unable to feed itself. So that is, we can say that the baby is a sink, that food is transferred, the excess food, or we cannot say that the excess food, the food is given, prepared food, ready-made food is given to the baby. But when the baby, or it is a baby girl or baby boy, when it reaches to 20 or 25 or 30 years, so now he or she will become a source of income. So that's why it will, first it was the sink, because it was, the food was transferred, or food was ready-made food was given to that baby. But now after some time he or she will become the source, because now he can make food for itself as well as for the other as well. So this is the similar is the case here with the plants, that all the tissues or all the cells which are present in the plant, they are source or sink in respect that at what time of development we are talking about them. For example, one cell will be and any organ or any cell or any tissue at one time, or the developmental time, or the first time when the cell is making, or the cell division is occurring. So in its development it will be a sink, because it requires food to make all the organelles, all the systems which are present in the cell, and it will function as a sink. So it may undergo a conversion, and when, if that cell is naturally a source, so when its development is completed, now that cell will or that organ will make food in excess, and it will become a source for other plants. So as far as the source and sink are concerned, any organ or any cell, it in the any developmental stage, in the first developmental stage, they all are sinks. Food are required, or food is given to them. So for example, the leaves are the excellent example. So whenever the leaves are synthesized, when the leaves are in the developmental stages, so they are not able to synthesize food themselves. So that's why they require food from other parts or other organs of the plants. So as we know that the photosynthesis, leaves are the major organs of the photosynthesis, but as they are in the early developmental stages, so they are not able to synthesize the food by the process of photosynthesis. So that's why they require food, and they are the sinks, that as they need food for their development. So in its early stages of development, when there is a we can say that the immature leaf, that the systems, that the organelles and other complete system is not fully functional, fully formed, so the leaf will act as a sink. But drying photoassimilates from older leaves to support its active metabolism and rapid enlargement. So it is the case that those leaves which were born previously and which are older than the older than these newly formed leaves, so they will require food from those leaves. And when the development is over and they become the mature, then they will be able to synthesize food, and they will become the sources. So as far as the source and the sink organs are concerned, it depends upon various factors. For example, if you have been asked that leaves are sources or sinks, so when we talk about the term leaf, so it means that is the mature, fully functional leaf. So whenever we use the term leaf, so it means that they are sources. But when we talk about that, when they are in early process of development, early stages of development, so they are sinks. And why they are sinks? Because they are in developmental stages and they are not able to synthesize their food. So classifying the organs or the tissues or the cell as a source or sink depends upon the various factors, out of which one is the developmental stage, at what developmental stage we are talking about. And these are, for example, as far as the major concept is concerned, the sources are mostly the mesophyll cell, but we have talked about when we talk about the mature leaf, so it means that leaf is at its maturity. So mesophyll cells are in the mature plant, mesophyll cells are the leaves, they are the sources because the photosynthesis is occurring there, and these are the sources. And sinks are the two things. So sink is not only the growing point where the growth is occurring, for example the apical meristem and at the tip of the root and shoot, these are the, for example, growth point. There at these locations the food is required, as well as some of the food is also stored in the storage organ to be used in in the situation when the photosynthesis is not taking place, or photosynthesis is not there, or light is not there. So as far as the sources is concerned, sources are mostly mesophyll cells, but remember, these storage organs where the food has been stored, these storage organs can also become, and they will become, sources when there is a need of utilizing the food which is stored here in the storage organ. So when the breakdown of starch, for example, occurs here in the storage organs, and starch will be converted to the glucose, so that glucose will be transferred to also to the growing organ, and growing organ there will be also immature leaves which are in developmental stages. So these mesophyll cells are these leaves will also become sinks, and this storage organ will become a source. So there is a interchanging between these two tissues, but this growing point or the growth point, they will always remain as a sink as they require. Growing point, either that is the apical meristem, or there is a root tip or the shoot tip, or at the branches or at the bud type. So whenever wherever there is a growth, so growth requires the food, and food is provided in a ready-made form, and that either it will be coming from directly from the mesophyll cells, or it will be coming from the storage organs. So however, as the leaf approaches a maximum size and its growth rate slows when there is a growth is at its steep, or when the graph, we can say that graph is now stable and the growth is at maturity, leaf is at its maturity, its own metabolic demands diminish as when the leaf is matured. What are its own metabolic demands? They are not anymore there. So it will gradually switch over to a net exporter as all the tissues, all the cells, for example the chloroplast, the grana and thylakoid and organelles, all they are now fully mature, so they are able to make food. So when they are able to make food, so not only it will make food for itself, and but it will also be a transporter, exporter, that the food which is synthesized here in the mesophyll cell or in the leaf, it will be more than its requirement. So the mature leaf then serve as a source of photostimulate for sinks elsewhere in the plant. So the mature leaf which was firstly we have classified as a sink, so now it become a source for photostimulates for, and it will transfer the foods to other parts of the plants. So the conversion of a leaf from sink to source is a gradual process. So it is quite understandable that why it is a gradual process, because whenever before the fully mature leaf is formed, there are various developmental stages. There is a bud, and bud will open, and there is a growth, gradual growth, continuous growth, slow growth, and by the process of growth, by undergoing various developmental stages, finally there will be a mature leaf, and that is the gradual process, and this gradual process requires food supply and paralleling the progressive maturation of the leaf tissue, which will result in the maturation. So in compound leaves, for example, the commonly present plant which is called the ash plant, Fraxinus pennsylvanica, and honey locust, which is the Gladisticia triacanthus. So these are the triacanthus. These are the two plants which have the compound leaf. And what is the compound leaf? That when the lamina is divided into certain leaflets parts, so that is the compound leaf. So what happens? Why we are giving example of these two plants? That the early maturing, as there is a leaflets in the compound leaves, some are located near to the base, so, and others are located towards the tip. So there is a basal leaflets which are towards the base, and distal leaflets which are present towards the tip. So those early maturing basal leaves which are near to the base, so they mature before than those which are born or which are born after those. So those basal leaves, they are early maturing leaves, so they will export photostimulates to the still developing distal leaflets as well as of the out of the leaf. So for example, this is the compound leaf. So whatever, these are the leaves which are located towards the base of the leaf. So what will happen when they as these are born before, so they are mature, so they are able to synthesize food, and still those which are present here at the distal end, so as if when they are not mature, so these distal leaflets will be transporting food or the phloem sap towards these developing leaflets, as well as to from this rachis towards the other parts of the organ. So these are the leaves, these are also leaflets, and at the tip there are also leaflets. There is a one single organ at one leaf, and this is the one leaf, compound leaf, but these two different leaflets are also acting differently. And this particular leaflet is behaving as a source, and this particular leaf is behaving as a sink. So this is, as far as the source and sink concept is concerned, it depends upon the net transfer of the food, whether that particular cell or the tissue is transporting or exporting food to other parts of the plant, or it is acquiring food from other parts of the plant. So on these basis, either that tissue or the cell may be source or it may be sink.